Great morning. Great morning. Great morning. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I'm your man, OG Truth with a two. I hurts with a Z coming at you with the raw truth, man. Been on a little vacation now. So, hey, it's time to get back at it. Hey, the leaves are starting to fall a little bit. It's football season. Sherman, what up? Georgia boy, what is happening? Gambred Monk, what is on, man? How is my communications? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can't say you can you hear me? Can you hear me? How am I doing? Sonya, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? Testing, testing. It's been a while for me, so I gotta do the testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Well, if y'all can't hear me, I guess y'all be done saying something by now. JB, what's happening? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ain't nobody said nothing. I need to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, good, awesome. Um, we're gonna cover a few things today before we hand it off to OG Big Sam. How we gonna do it this year? We're gonna keep pretty much with the same format. We just gonna kind of narrow it down to the weekend in sports, so we won't have to take an extended break and make it all about the Falcons. But it's going to be a lot about the Falcons. Falcons just finished up their preseason. Um, for whatever it's worth, they went 0-3. Uh, Played the one home game against the Jaguars, and you know, I guess the score didn't matter. Well, it mattered to some people, but hey, it ain't my hey, I'm not about to manage no feelings. So we're gonna get into that. Um, we're gonna also talk about the Braves as they make a pennant run because it don't look like they're gonna get a pennant. At least not a division title. Look like they're a little far off. Got outside shot. Um, they 6 games out on the loss column. That's the only column that matters. They got 4. I know they got 4 games coming up with the Phillies. So we're gonna see how that play itself out. We also got what we got going on. The Atlanta Dream play a pretty huge game tonight. Their season winding down. They had a real bad stretch because they had a lot of injuries, and they outside of the playoff race by half a game, where they tied in the loss column with the Chicago Sky. But I think the Sky right now owns the tiebreaker. I think the Sky are up 2 games to 1. But we 10-18. The Sky's 11-18. So we're gonna see how that play itself out. But starting out this weekend, Christy, what's going on? Tati, what's going on? Um. Oh yeah. It's good. It's good to be seen. Good. Hey, I'd rather be seen than to be viewed. So hey, y'all already know how that go. This we had college football kickoff this weekend. You know, man, it just goes to show you how I really hadn't been, keeping up with shit like I supposed to. Um, my stepson had to tell me on Friday. He said, Georgia Tech played tomorrow. I said, well, Georgia Tech, what Georgia Tech? What, tennis? Baseball? He said, no, football. Play Florida State. I said, damn. I guess in case you've been sleeping, you ain't heard the news. Georgia Tech went over the pond over there in Dublin, Ireland, and they pulled off the upset over number 10 ranked Florida State, 24-21. That was a huge win for Brent Key and that Tech program. Brent Key had to come in there and pretty much gut that shit out because Collins left it in disarray. Goddamn, Collins left that shit fucked up. But but in fairness to Collins, when he took it over, it was fucked up. He thought he could fix it, and in him trying to fix it, he just made it worse. And sometimes it goes like that. But big game for quarterback. I know the backup is Zach Pyre. I know they Taysom Hill is Zach Pyre. I forget the kid's name, but the quarterback running back duo for Tech really controlled the line of scrimmage. Had a couple of mistakes, got a few things they got to clean up. Tech looked like they can compete. I know last week they was talking about. I know they was on the radio talking about Tech's record. They projected record because they got one of the. I think they got the 5th or 6th toughest schedule in the country, and the Tech made 4 or 5 wins. That team is going to be a bowl eligible team. Hell, they went to a bowl last year, and they didn't lose too many people. So that team's going to be a bowl eligible team. I don't see that team losing more than 6 games. And then when you look at their schedule, a lot of their tough games are on the flats. So got a big game coming up next week against Georgia State. That could be a trick-off game. Georgia State, it's an inner-city rivalry. Well, interstate rival is something else, but when inner-city rival, 3 dirty, what's happening? Hey, anything go. A lot of those kids grew up together. A lot of those kids, both teams, they grew up together, played together, played against each other and all that stuff there. So that should be a pretty interesting game. But nevertheless, a big win for Georgia Tech against number 10 Florida State. Big win on all fronts. For one, you beat a top 10 team. The last time they beat a top 10 team, because they had lost 15 straight, was to Florida State on the block punt down on the flats on that Thursday night. It was either Thursday night or Saturday night. It's a conference win. So, and when the committee, hey, you never know. Tech fuck around and win 9 or more games, and they beat a couple of more teams like Florida State. They can easily be a sensation. You never know, because now they're never going into the expanded playoff this year. Okay, Chris, what's going on? Chris Wright, what's happening? All right, let's go to the back to the Atlanta Dream. Again, they play a big game against the Indiana Fever. Of course, that game has been moved to the State Farm Arena because of the high demand for the tickets to see Caitlin Clark. I'm just going to call it for what it is. And after she kind of started out rough, and then, she had a little rough, hit a rough patch, and then she don't put it in the gear. So, and Indiana looks like they could possibly be a problem as a 6 or a 7 seed to a 2 or 3 seed. You got their mojo going, and they're looking good. When you got two of the last three number one overall. No, you got the last two number one overall picks. They both balling. You got the Kelsey Mitchell kid, and they got a good mixture of youth and veterans on that squad, and they could be an issue. So this is a huge game for the Dream. They dropped a tough one. They had a back-to-back at home with Phoenix. They played them on Wednesday and I think Tuesday, and then Friday. They beat them Tuesday, lost to them, tough one to them on Friday. And Phoenix is another team. Basically, the Dream, if they only shot at the playoffs would be 8, 7, or 6 seed. Those are the only teams that's reachable to them. Phoenix being one of them. Phoenix got 15 losses. Again, you look at the loss column. So Phoenix got 15 losses. So they need to win. They need to win this game. Period. Point blank. They haven't beaten the Fever all year. The Fever done beat us like a drum every time. We played them one time in the preseason. They beat us up there. I think they beat us once down here, and they beat us twice up there. I think this is the last regular season game, and they beat us in the preseason. So we need to, if nothing else. Again, this is a big game. The Dream still hurt up. Cheyenne Parker's out. She with a severely twisted ankle. I don't know if Ariel Powers will be able to play, but she's been out a lot this year. My only issue with her is she's been out a lot because when she's on the floor, she's a big difference maker for Tanisha Wright and the Dream. But they got a decent three-headed monster, and they started to line up with Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray. By the way, congratulations to Alicia Gray. She had a fantastic All-Star weekend. She made the All-Star team well. In fact, they beat the USA Olympic team. They also beat the USA Olympic team, and she took home the skills challenge and the three-point shootout. She took home in excess of $120,000 in cash and 2 trophies. So pretty good night for Alicia Gray when it comes to that. All right, but again, big game for the Dream. They got to handle their business. Braves. It's real simple. We got to keep winning baseball games because I'm looking at the standings right now. The Mets crawling up our ass to that third wild card. Like I said, catching the Phillies is going to be tough, but the Mets crawling up our ass for that third wild card. We can't afford to be tricking off games. We got injuries out the ass, but hey, it's got to be next man up. MRI came back on Monday night. He's gonna be okay. Probably gonna miss a couple games or whatever. Austin Riley's still out. Ozzie Albies still out. Acuna gone the next year. Strider gone the next year. That bullpen is beat up. But it was kind of similar in 2021. We had a lot of guys beat up. That's why Alex Anthopoulos had to go out there and he had to cook and work his mojo, and we wound up winning the World Series. I think everybody know that. But yes, the team is different. You got a bunch of journeymen, and you got a bunch of journeyman guys out there that they playing produce. You got Whit Merrifield, Laureano. You got I forget the other two guys' name. You brought back Jorge Soler. You brought in and shipped back out Eddie Rosario. I think the one constant that's going on with the Braves is especially from the hitting side, been Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna been pretty much a godsend. Um, and you got that three. You get into the playoffs and you find a way to get into the best 3 out of 5. You got a shot because you got folks in that rotation. Um, you got the old head Charlie Morton. You got the other old head Chris Sale. You got Max Free. You got 3 dogs, and then you got the young pup Lopez, who has had a phenomenal season. So you got the starters, the back end of the bullpen. Iglesias hasn't looked too bad. What's going on in between them has been shaky at best. They brought back Luke Jackson. You know, a lot of the Braves fans need a couch to lay on about that shit. It is what it is. So I mean, the bottom line is the Braves need to they got to win baseball games. I think they got the Twins tonight, and I want to say they go to Philadelphia after they leave Minnesota. It's simple. Get rid of Snicker. A lot of people saying that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, can you just honestly say Snicker is the problem? I mean, I know a lot of us over analytical motherfuckers. We might look at certain points, certain games where we feel like Snick could have pulled the trigger on this, and I'm telling you something about being, me being a baseball guy. Um, hey man, you can look like a genius and you can look like an idiot. Everything comes to a complete stop in the baseball game, and a lot of times it hinges upon how a manager pulls the trigger on certain shit. I mean, if you want to indict Snicker for his decision making, that's fine. But you gotta do that. If you're gonna do that, you gotta also give him his props for how he managed that bullpen in 21. So but hey, if you ask me, I think it's the end. I think the end is near for Snit because it's time. I mean, Snit been in the organization 50 years. He's the oldest manager in baseball. I mean, hey, hey, he got his ring. So, but that's somewhere down the line. But he ain't shit he can do about them injuries. I mean, you take all that away from him, he got a case. I lost a Cy Young candidate, the reigning MVP. Um, 2 guys in the bullpen who helped us win in 21. Um, Money Mike been out a lot. Ozzy on his second stint on the DL. Sean Murphy started out the year on the DL. Austin Riley out right now. Um, you know, hey man. So you know he got a case. We get Snicker out of the country, away from the Brave problem solved. TV in the house. I mean, what about his managing the bullpen now? Listen, hey, I understand everybody's frustration. I watch the games too. I get it. I'm not an advocate for Snit. I'm just giving you the pros and the cons of the situation. Relax. He ain't got long. Maybe one more year. Um, but at the end of the day, that's just what I got. Excuse me. I got my old glasses here. Third base coach need to go. Ron Washington was aggressive out there. That's what we missing. That ain't what we missing. There's been a lot of reasons No, yeah, we need. Listen, Ron. Listen, if Ron, check this out. I appreciate you checking in, Rozier. Listen, hear me out on this. What difference will Ron Washington make about what's going on now? Can he prevent them injuries? I ain't seen the Braves lose no games with too many games. Look, man, if you got 162 games in a season, a lot of shit gonna happen. I ain't seen the Braves just lose games on base running. Man, I get it. Having a guy like that in the clubhouse, in the locker room, it's big for the guys. But a lot of shit, man, he can't prevent Strider having Tommy John. He can't prevent. Listen, the Braves, hey, Snick or Washington can't protect Ronald Acuna from himself. You know, again, I get it. I understand. Look, hey, if you look at Ron Washington right now, I bet she got buyer's remorse. I bet you wish took that shit out there and out there with the Los Angeles Angels and they one of the worst teams in baseball. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, as soon as he walk in the door, Tiny leaves out. Mike Trout out there hurt up a lot. So you know. Hey, what big of a difference would he make? Shit, Ron Washington being here wouldn't have been able to prevent that damn torrid start the Phillies had. The Phillies was running away with the shit, and then they started to cool off. Thank God, you know. And guess what? We had played them twice early in the year. We won. We won. Listen. We 6-3 against the Phillies. We 6-3. We don't play them 3 times in the best of 3. All 3 times we won 2 out of 3. Well, other than that, they kicking everybody else's ass. You know, so Braves what 70-60, 130 games. Got 32 games left. The Phillies are 76-54. That's exactly 6 games out. Being that the Braves right now own the tiebreaker, we need to make up. Look, we played them in the best 3 out of 4. We played them in the best of 4. We need to win 3 out of 4. A split ain't gonna do us no good, and we damn sure don't need to lose the series. We win 3 out of 4. We gain 2 games on them. That's how that works. So, all right. What I want to talk about a little bit today with the Falcons is I think they cut like 13 guys yesterday. I didn't see the list of the 13 guys that they cut, but what I have here is a projected 53-man roster and practice squad guys. This was composed of by my buddy Clifton Crawley, and I'm gonna use this as a cheat sheet. I saw a lot of good things, but I saw a lot of not so good things. I know a lot of people pissed that we didn't play certain guys, but hey, it's the new NFL now. Raheem Morris is not the only coach that's doing it. When Arthur Smith did it, he wasn't the only coach that was doing it. It's the new NFL now because they done cut down the preseason games from 4 to 3. Back when when we had 4 preseason games, it was a little bit different. Now you got 3 preseason games. That means you got that film that you not less film. That's less time you got to see who can make the damn team, see who's able to stand the reign of the 53-man roster, or even just be on the practice squad. So, um, a lot of people want to know in Atlanta Falcons country, why are we not playing? We're gonna get to the 53-man roster. Just a lot of people want to know why we ain't playing Michael Penix. Let me say this, and I addressed this on High Noon Madness Friday with OG Big Sam. Listen, man, bro, them folks told you what they was gonna do, man. They literally listen every year since Terry Fontenot got here. He's told you what he's gonna do. Now, he's not gonna show his hand on how he do it, but they basically tell you what they're gonna do. Case in point, first year here, he clearly said he was gonna get the best. They were taking best player available. Take away how you feel about him now. Yeah, okay, UGA guys. I know Kyle Pitts went to Florida. All right. I know because I got certain issues with him too, finishing off routes and shit. And it's abundantly clear that he wasn't all the way healthy last year. So my question is, why the fuck did he play? I'm with y'all on that. Yeah, they're gonna be ready. But nevertheless, he's the best player available. Matter of fact, if you go back and look, rated player at his position in that draft. You know, that draft that everybody threw a whole fucking hissy fit about because we didn't take a certain quarterback. Well, guess what? That quarterback class who was slated as being the best since 1983. Right now, the whole fucking class is a class full of busts. We played two of them Friday, and really, he about the only one holding. Their starter is about the only one holding it down for that class. But that's something else we can get into later. I'm not gonna go all the way into that. But nevertheless, he said that they said play available in the first year. The second year, a lot of us didn't know nothing about Drake London. But if you go back and look at where they had him at, when we took him, he was the best player available at that time. Last year, he kind of threw us a curveball with Bijan, but when you go back and look at it, Bijan was the best from a skill position. He was the best player available at that slot. At pick 8, he was the best player available. I know a lot of people was pissed we didn't take the Georgia guys, but he was, from a rating standpoint, he was the best player available this year. They told us they were going to address the quarterback situation. They told us that they were going to address the quarterback situation. They did. They went out, they signed Kirk Cousins. A lot of people threw a hissy fit about that. Why the fuck we giving this guy $100 million guaranteed coming off of an Achilles injury, a guy who only won one playoff game, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? A majority of us love Matt Matt up until 2016 had only won one playoff game. I'm just calling for what it is. And that one playoff game was against Seattle in the Dome. And then we lost to the 49ers when I felt like Navarro Bowman went through Roddy White. And then after 2012, we kind of played a little better than those next two times we went to the playoffs. We wound up winning through. We went from winning one game in four playoff trips to 3 games in 2 playoff trips, and everybody know about one of them. So, but we signed Kirk Cousins. He said he's ready to go. So we're gonna see how that play stuff out. A lot of people want to know why. So we gave up all this money for Kirk Cousins. Then why the hell did we sign Michael Penix? Well, the answer was simple. Looking at the makeup of this roster before the draft, we done made moves. As y'all know, we done made moves since then. Looking at the makeup of this roster before the draft, we ain't gonna be picking that high for a while. We should be, unless shit just go straight up sideways. We should be picking that high. We shouldn't be. So they jumped. What they did, they just, instead of kicking the can down the road, they just jumped ahead of it. They were proactive instead of reactive. They went ahead on and got their future quarterback right there. Their goal is to stash him and not play him this year. Okay? Their goal is not to play him this year. So y'all go ahead on and take your damn antacid and your Pepto-Bismol and your blood pressure medicine. Their goal is to not play Michael Penix this year. All right? So, also, before we get into this 53-man, the guy stopped playing for Arthur Smith. They didn't stop playing for Arthur Smith. They didn't stop playing for Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith just really tricked himself out of a job. They didn't stop playing for Arthur Smith. God almighty, where y'all be getting some of this shit from? They did not stop playing for Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith fumbled the quarterback situation. That's it. Ain't nobody stop playing. They don't such thing as stop playing. And that shit there, you don't stop playing. Because if you stop playing, you won't have a fucking job. Now, I get what people say. Ain't nobody stop playing. That shit's a narrative and a pity party. They didn't stop playing for them. They were a lot of motherfuckers. A lot of those guys liked Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith just fumbled the quarterback situation. And he was an asshole to a lot of the media. I'm just calling it what it is. He was an asshole to the media. You know, he went up there like Captain Catchphrase ass Dan Quinn telling y'all what the fuck here. He came off as an arrogant prick, and that's why y'all almost. I'll just call it what it is. So, but nevertheless, he fumbled the quarterback situation. He don't fumble the quarterback situation. He's still here to come. So, all right. I was shocked. Okay, by the move that was made. Why not draft team needs instead of best player available? When you've been a shit show that we have the last 5 years, 4 to 5 years, hell, best player available probably is a team need. It ain't like we've been a perennial playoff team. When you're a perennial playoff team, you 9 times out of 10 you drafted as a team need. But when you a complete shit show, and then I think we can all admit it, we've been a shit show the last 7 years. We ain't been in the playoffs for 7 years, y'all. So best player available 9 times out of 10, somewhere along the line is going to be a team need. Even if it's not a team need right then, people scream and raise hell about team needs. Thank y'all for asking the question stuff. When people raise hell about team needs, like we've been a player away. We ain't been no fucking player away. Y'all see that? Y'all saw that. Now, and lastly, listen, and then we're going to get to the damn 53-man roster because I ain't got that much time because we got to hand out the OG Big Sam in 20 minutes. Listen, man, I am excited about the moves that we've made. I'm excited about how we're drafting. And I'm just like everybody else. Let Terry cook. Let's temper. I said temper. I'm not saying not be excited. Let's temper our expectations. That's all I'm saying. You got folks already got us in the Super Bowl. I had to check a couple of my partners calling me talking about, all right, one dude told me, all right, Chauncey, hey, listen, hey, Kirk Cousins, you need to get me to a Super Bowl or I'm going to be on your ass. I said, no, don't you start that shit. I already ready to goddamn blame the quarterback. Like, I already be dead set with their guns blazing for the goddamn quarterback. Kirk Cousins one of 53 men on the roster. There's a bunch of motherfuckers need to do their goddamn job. We need to see how, shit. I'm starting to hear rumblings and grumblings that New England's ready to get Matthew Judon ass the fuck up out of there. All right? All right? Why was Justin Simmons still a free agent? Why we penciling these guys into the Super Bowl now? There's a lot of shit. Listen, we ain't been to the playoffs in 7 years, man. And I'm hearing people saying this the best team the Falcons ever had going into the season. No, they're not. Stop. They're not. This is not the best team that the Falcons had going into the. Stop it. That goes how long it's been that this team looked like they was working shit. This team is not better than 3 of the Matt Ryan teams. Stop it. 3 of them going into the season. Cut it out. I know they're better than 2 of the teams that when we had Roddy White, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez, Michael the Burner Turner. Then we turned around and we had okay, the 16 team. Okay, I get it. But that team caught lightning in a bottle, but nevertheless, temper your expectations, y'all. That's it. We got a lot of shit. We got a whole Grady Jarrett come back healthy. All right. Kirk could tear that goddamn Achilles, and it's so if we don't cut Taylor Heineke, you got to understand. It's the reason we didn't cut Taylor Heineke. Coop making us all nervous missing these goddamn field goals. I know he's done the last 2 or 3 preseasons, yes. But Coop also tricked off 2 games last year. Y'all. So it is a small cause of concern. No, I don't give a shit about preseason games like that, but it's a small cause of concern because if he don't trick off them 2 games last year that he tricked off, yes, he did. I know. I get it. Y'all was so mad at Arthur Smith and Desmond Ritter, And y'all blame them for all the Falcons sins that y'all just forgot about a lot of other shit that went on out there. I get it. Like the defense getting handed the ball 4 or more times by 2 quarterbacks, by Ritter and Heineke, and they couldn't close the deal. Yeah, a lot of other shit went on in them games. The bad decision making. Nobody will ever forget the Carolina game, the Carolina loss when Ritter made that egregious mistake. And guess what? Yes, it was egregious, and they got him out of here. And Arthur Smith, probably the death knell on Arthur Smith. But guess what happened? The possession before that, Bijan in the same area in the field, Bijan put the ball on the fucking ground. But nobody. But hey, Bijan is one of your favorite guys. So guess what? You're not gonna go in on Bijan. Bijan gets a pass, huh? So I mean, but nevertheless, I mean, we should. Hey, look, brothers and sisters, let's win a football game. Who was a playoff team last year? Who came in here in the preseason last year and kicked our ass? And they got reasons to want to kick our ass. You got Pickens over that wide receiver. Don't you think he would love to come in here and kick our ass? They drafted the big tight end. Brock Bowers backup. I forget his name. Don't you think he'd love to come in and kick our ass? Their starting quarterback probably going to be Russell Wilson, whose wife is from Atlanta. Don't you think he'll love coming here and kick our ass? Along with he got an extra grind against us. We don't put his ass out the playoffs. Do I need to mention their backup quarterback? Don't you think he got an extra grind? It'd be just our luck he come in here and had a fucking game in his life. He damn near did it against us last year in Chicago. And wouldn't it be profound for Arthur Smith to come in here and call the best game of his fucking life? Let's just win a game first. A realistic expectation is we should win the division. But guess what? Tampa ain't going nowhere now. We're putting ourselves in the goddamn playoffs. I mean, we're putting ourselves in the Super Bowl, but let's just call it what it is. Has Detroit got any worse? They was a dumb coaching decision away from beating the hands. For the 4th year in a row, everybody got San Francisco to win the Super Bowl. They ain't got too much worse. They got a. I don't think the only kryptonite is they got a dumbass for a head coach. A guy who a lot of our Falcon fans call a guru. That motherfucker ain't got guru. He ain't no guru at all. And I ain't gonna go into that because I get long-winded when I get to talking about him. That motherfucker ain't close to a guru. If he did, he'd have more than one MVP. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones got him a job. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that, but it's all good. You think Dallas gonna fall off? Yeah, I know they got. Look, it's drama in Dallas every year. Then they go out there and for 8 weeks last year, they were the best team in football. Green Bay, who we beat last year, went into Dallas and kicked their ass. They gonna fall off. Jordan Love had a great season. Seattle, who I think we beat last year. Did we beat Seattle last year? I think we did. They damn near went. Look, they tricked off against San Francisco. See what I'm saying? Tampa won our division and won a playoff game. We ain't been to the playoffs in 7 years, y'all. We just putting ourselves in the Super Bowl. So let's temper our expectations. Okay, all right, we inside 15 minutes. All right, tell me what y'all think about this. This is this is um a possible. If a couple of you guys that got cut, okay, that's fine. I know they cut 13 guys yesterday. I didn't look at the list, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna make some more cuts today, and then they're gonna find it out tomorrow. So here is projected. I project this is nothing official. This is just projected from one of my analytics geeks, brother Clifton Crawley. I call him the analytic geek. Three quarterbacks will be Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix Jr., Taylor Heineke. I know a lot of people got Heineke out of here, but that's running backs 4 will be Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Avery Williams, Jace McClellan. I think Avery Williams hurt, right? I'm not sure. Wide receivers 5. I'm assuming they're gonna probably keep 6. But Ray McLeod, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Cardero Hodge, Casey Washington, and they got the other guy that got hurt. I forget his name. Y'all, we got a guy who got hurt in practice. 3 tight ends will be Kyle Pitts, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly. No Fitz. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, OG Big Sam he gonna clean up my mess. Offensive line. Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Drew Dalman, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry, Ryan Newsel, Kyle Hinton, Storm Norton. Defensive line, that's 8. Defensive line 8. Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, I'm your mama, what I call him. Taquan Graham, Zach Harrison, Rook Oho. I ain't even try to say boy last name, but y'all, a bunch of goddamn O's and R's in here. O's, R's, and H's. Matter of fact, that's all he got in his name. O's, R's, and fucking H's. He got 1, 2, 3, 4 O's, goddamn 1, 2, 3 R's, and 2 H's. A whole, hey, y'all know who I'm talking about. Eddie Goldman, Kentavious Street, Brandon Dorfus, I'm sorry. Outside linebacker Matthew Judon, Lorenzo Carter, Arnold Edbichetti, James Smith Williams, Damone Harris. Inside linebackers Caden Ellis, Troy Anderson, Nate Landman, J.D. Bertrand. Cornerbacks A.J. Terrell, Mike Hughes, D. Alfred Clark Phillips III. Antonio Hamilton Sr., Kevin King. Safeties Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, Richard Grant, DeMarco Helms. We all know what happened with DeMarco Helms. And then, of course, you got the young Hoku, Bradley Pinion. Now, the projected practice squad would be quarterback John Paddock, running back Carlos Washington Jr., wide receiver Chris Blair, wide receiver O.J. Hilaire, offensive tackles Julian Davenport, Andrew Stupper, offensive guard Javon Gwynn, defensive linemen LaKale London, Zion Lowe, outside linebacker Debo Malone. Well, I'm worried about Debo. Linebacker Milo E. Fleur, cornerbacks Anthony Johnson, Natrone Brooks, Jaden Price, and safety Michael Abernathy. We're going to switch it over to OG Big Sam. We're going to talk about the roster cuts and what I don't know. Any of those guys I named got cut? I don't think I looked at that cut list. I don't think any of those guys got cut. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We get Sam time enough to get his mic check going on. Again, we'll be here same bat time, same bat channel every Monday, 11:15ish. For the raw truth. Catch me on Thursday, 7:30ish 8 o'clock-ish, as we will go over the exclusive world of wrestling fans and want to put some on your brain. We've already talked about the we've already talked about the heel turns, which was the most egregious heel turns. What I want to talk about this Thursday is which heel turn had the most impact on the sport. So we're gonna go into that. Me, LT, main event, Mad Mike and the Don. So, and we're gonna also get back with the. Make sure y'all check out the Regulators, okay? OG Big Sam, he running. OG Big Sam been a horse, man. He running 4 days a week. He running Monday, Tuesday. We got Terrible Tuesday. He got Monday with the OG, Terrible Tuesday, Wednesday T. We take Thursday off, and he got High Noon Madness on Friday. Got the Lady Birds who about to get it cranked back up. Again, we got the heavy hitters, and we got the Regulators. So y'all make sure y'all check out the A-Team over here. So I mean, man, OG Truth for the 2 hurts with a Z. Y'all already know. We always seek and speak truth, hold truth, and nothing but truth. We're going to see you guys in 6 days, 23 hours.